Hello. We're minutes away from the kickoff of the NFL season, and I've guessed that I've got to put together some haphazard Houston Texans takes and NFL ones on record before things officially kick off. And after that, if you want, hang out. We'll watch Eagles, Cowboys together. I'm Paul Gallant, and this is the Gallant Says podcast.
A radio show host in Seattle called Paul Gallant.
Paul Gallant's wondering the same things a lot of people are.
You are definitely living in the hindsight world today, Paul.
Do you feel there's been a consistent theme with the interceptions?
I think every interception really has a different story.
I was just kind of curious what Paul gets to see.
Paul Gallant, what the hell is wrong with you?
Hello and welcome aboard the Gallant Says podcast. It is Thursday, September 4th at about 6:56 Central Time, live on YouTube at Paul Gallant, on Twitch at Gallant Says, on X or Twitter, whatever you call it, at Gallant Says, on Instagram at Sports Gallant, and on Facebook at Paul Gallant Sports. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video, subscribe. I think it's the best way to watch the show because you can super chat on it. Paul, is that just another way to get money from us? Yes, it is. I'm poor. I need money for my cat. Please help. Also, you can watch a log on Twitch too. Sometimes we post podcasts after the fact on Apple and on Spotify, but this is going to be a rather watch-intensive show. The NFL season's about to kick off. I got Channel 2 on the television right above my computer monitor. Someone's singing a national anthem. Not sure which one. Yes, there's multiple apparently. So let's just get started. Talking about what the Houston Texans might do this coming season. I'm going to start off by saying this. I think that predictions in sports, and more so the people that take predictions from pundits or themselves seriously, are the absolute worst. It sucks. Lots of people are going to put all sorts of things out there, throwing bleep at the wall, essentially, hoping that some of the predictions that they make going into a year will pay off. Whether you put in a lot of research or you put in close to no research, you are legitimately throwing things at the wall. And I say this as somebody who recently nailed the Houston Texans season predictions from the record all the way to where they were going to go. And I suppose it's not that hard to predict the Texans are going to make it to the second round of the playoffs and then lose. But all predictions, specifically preseason predictions, are just dumb. And there's so many people who months from now, 4 months from now, with all sorts of different teams by the end of the year, who are going to pat themselves on the back for being right about something that they threw at the wall. That said, I've got to do it, and we've only got about 20 minutes until kickoff. So, Houston Texans over-under for 2025 per DraftKings is 9.5. Are they going to get to 10 wins for the third straight season? I'm just going to go through the schedule. I did this earlier today on my radio show, and I'm not even kidding. I don't even remember what I made for the predictions for each of these games, which should tell you how little I think about predictions going into the season and how little you should think about predictions going into the season. I'm just being honest. I'm revealing what's underneath the kimono or behind this oversized Hawaiian shirt, an awesome Hawaiian shirt that the girlfriend found for me at a thrift store. Love you, babe. So, Sunday against the Rams. If you've taken a look at the injury report, you will see that one of the newest acquisitions for the Houston Texans, Christian Kirk, didn't participate in practice for each of these two practices, Wednesday and Thursday, with a hamstring issue. Hamstring issues in Texans receivers, whether it's Will Fuller or last year with Nico Collins, they suck, and it feels like the Texans deal with them a lot. But it's not looking like he's going to play, and per Adam Schefter, it seems like he could be out for a very long period of time. longer than you would expect. I saw a couple of other people co-sign that coming out of the Houston Texans locker room. They've also got a couple of offensive linemen injured. Blake Fisher's not going to play, but Ed Ingram, your right guard, is dealing with some sort of abdomen issue, so he is limited in practice. All I'm saying is week one, you've got a new offensive coordinator. You've got an entirely new wide receiver core that's going to have to, if Christian Kirk can't go, rely on multiple rookie receivers, whether it's Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel. They might be good, but we don't know anything about them just yet in a regular season game. On top of that, a brand new offensive line. I mean, it's just a lot. It's just a lot for week one, for everything to go according to plan on the road against the team that in last year's playoffs was closest to beating the Eagles, who are the defending Super Bowl champions and about to raise a banner on NBC right now. Matt Stafford in week one, sure, coming off of some sort of back issue or currently dealing with said back issue. This is probably the freshest he's going to be all year. I don't think that back injury is going to get a whole lot better over the course of an NFL season. So I think the Rams win on Sunday. Texans start off the season 0-1. Week two, a Monday nighter. Doubleheader Monday night action. 6 p.m. Central Time kickoff. Oh boy, it's going to be a kind of empty stadium at NRG, isn't it? 6 p.m. on a Monday? What the fuck, NFL? I think this is going to go a lot like the last time the Texans played the Bucs. I think it's going to be one of those games that's determined at the very end. That was C.J. Stroud's first signature moment, a game-winning touchdown pass that he had to beat the Bucs with less than 10 seconds to go. What a drive that was. What a game that was. I think the Texans win again against the Bucs. They're 1-1. Week 3 at Jacksonville. Will Azeez Al-Shaair be assassinated upon entrance to the stadium? Probably not. I don't think anyone in Jacksonville is going to be able to sneak a gun, specifically some sort of sniper rifle, and then take somebody out from the pool. I kid. They hate him. They hate Azeez Al-Shaair. I look at the Jaguars, and while it's going to be difficult to play outside in Jacksonville in September, I'll say this. I'm just not buying into Trevor Lawrence as their starting quarterback. I don't think he's bad, but I also think that he is never going to be what he was billed. I think the Texans are going to continue their dominance of Jacksonville. 2-1. Home game against the Titans. It's Cam Ward. Cam Ward, a rookie quarterback, going up against that Texans pass rush in his fourth game. I don't think it goes so well for him. Texans 3-1. Sunday, October 5th, on the road in Baltimore against the Ravens. Do we even need to predict this? Do I even need to say what's going to happen? I don't want to talk about it. They've been outscored what? The last 3 times they've played Baltimore. 100-20? Jesus. Bye week. After that, October 20th, on the road against the Seahawks, a 9 p.m. kickoff. This is going to be a tough one, but it's Sam Darnold under center. And while weird things happen in primetime games in Seattle, I've covered a couple of them while I was up there. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to be able to make all the magic in the Texans' favors, and maybe some ghosts come out and they scare him. I know the Texans pass rush is certainly going to scare him, especially if they're fresh off of a bye week. So I think they win that game against the Seahawks. Ooh, Paul. Texans 4-2 to start off. But then they play the San Francisco 49ers. There's going to be more 49ers fans than Texans fans at NRG Stadium. I think the 49ers win that game. For what it's worth, the 49ers are my NFC pick to make it in this year's Super Bowl. Then they have a home game against the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are going to have more fans at NRG Stadium than the Texans. I like their defense a lot. I'm not the biggest Bo Nix fan. Everyone's buying into that hype, but they've got a really good offensive line, and I think that they do play good complementary football. So I think the Texans lose that game too. Paul, what? 2 home losses in a row? They're going to be 4-4? Yes, and everyone's going to be freaking out like they tend to do about this team midseason. I would rather the Texans lose 3 of 4 October going into November than at the end of the year or in late November, early December. You know? So they're 4-4. Home game against the Jaguars. I think they win that one as well. I just can't take Liam Cohen and that Jaguars team seriously. On the road against the Titans, I think they win that one too. They're going to win the first one because Hannah McNair is going to go in the locker room and give a speech because she's mad about Amy Adams-Strunk getting that win in Houston with Will Levis under center last year. And I think she's going to give the same kind of speech. Like, do not make me look bad in front of Amy, please. Short week, a Thursday game against the Bills. Texas did well against the Bills last year. I think it'll be tough for Josh Allen. It's a Thursday game, so on a short week as well at NRG Stadium. Will Bills fans travel for that? It does start to get cold that time of year. Bills fans do travel pretty well. How will that go for the Texans? I think they win. I think they're going to be 7-4 at this point. Road game November 30th against the Colts, with a Sunday night football game against the Chiefs the week after. I think the Texans might look ahead. And I know you're thinking to yourself, well, it's going to be Daniel Jones. Maybe it's even Anthony Richardson at that point of the season. Until proven otherwise, I don't think the Texans are a team that never overlooks anybody. So I'm a little skeptical about them in that game. But again, this is a preseason prediction, so take it all with a grain of salt. This is stupid. Sunday at Kansas City. Playing in Kansas City for a third straight game in a cold weather month. I think the Chiefs win. The 14th against the Cardinals with the Texans 7-6 and fighting for their playoff lives. I think they win. Sunday, December 21st, a home game against Pete Carroll and the Raiders. The only prediction I have for this game is I'm going to go to the press conference room and probably see if Pete Carroll remembers me. I think they win that one too. Ooh, they're 9-6. At the Chargers, Week 17. Chargers are probably going to be playing for their playoff lives. Texans probably can clinch the AFC South, though, in Week 17. I think that they win. I think that they do. The last game of the year, I think it's going to be inconsequential. Week 18 against the Colts. They'll be 10-6. Screw it. They win it for Lovie Smith with Davis Mills under center. 11-6. So, yes, they hit the over. How far do they go? Here are their odds per DraftKings for their postseason outcome. Missing the playoffs, plus 110. Nope, they're making it. Wild card loss, plus 240. You know they're going to end up playing against some team with a young quarterback or a quarterback we've never heard of in the first round, because that's always what happens, or someone who's kind of mediocre like an Andy Dalton type. So I think that they win the wild card round. Division loss, plus 425. Conference game loss, plus 1,000. Super Bowl loss, plus 3,500. Super Bowl victory, plus 4,000. I think they're losing in the division round. I hope I'm wrong, but that's how I think it goes down. Meanwhile, closer and closer to kickoff. Let's run through all the 8 divisions and make predictions really quickly. I think the Texans win the AFC South. They're plus 105 to win it. Jags are plus 270. Colts are plus 425. Titans are plus 650. I think if any other team wins the AFC South, I don't think it's the Colts. I don't think it's the Jaguars. I've been back and forth on this, but I think that there's a lot of bad juju that needs to be flushed out of Jacksonville. They've certainly still got some talent, but what's their offensive line? Who's their running back? You could say the same thing about the Texans, by the way. So I think that the Titans as a plus 650 play is a fun play, but do we want the Titans to win the division? I just say that because Cam Ward is saying all the right things going into this season. We'll see if he actually is the guy. I'll say this, entirely based off of what I'm hearing from Cam Ward, I'd rather have Cam Ward than Caleb Williams. That's a hot take for you. AFC West, this is the division that the Houston Texans play this season. The Chiefs are minus 115 to win the West. Broncos second at plus 240. Chargers are plus 370, and the Raiders are plus 2,200. Look, the Raiders don't have that much talent, but it's Pete Carroll. They got Geno Smith, who played for Pete Carroll before. Ashton Jeanty is their running back. They have Max Crosby. It's not like they're talentless. That's a fun play, but I do not have the balls to pick the Raiders to win the AFC West. No one should pick against the Chiefs. It's insulting. No one should do that, at least when it comes to the AFC West, until they are dethroned. Sure, everyone wants to be the first person to say they were right, but I saw so many people trying to do this over the years with the Patriots and Tom Brady. Why is it any different with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs? Texans play the NFC West as the other division this that they go up against this year. The 49ers are plus 155 to win it. I think the 49ers win the division. I think they win the NFC. We'll get to that later. Rams plus 200. Cardinals plus 425. The Seahawks are plus 500. As far as top to bottom, this is the division with the closest odds, 1 through 4. Cardinals are intriguing because it feels like people are sleeping on them. I do like Kyler Murray a lot, but this is a 49ers and Rams division. Seahawks have Sam Darnold under center. I think they're going to regret that as the season goes along. Texans do play the Bucs this season. I think the Bucs win the NFC South. I think they're the class of that division. Falcons defensively, I don't really know what I'm getting. I do not buy into Dave Canales, who wrote a book about cheating on his wife and how they stayed together. Fuck that guy. That sounds like some bullshit to me. They're plus 500. I just don't buy into it. Also, Bryce Young is my size. And the Saints are plus 1,600. It's going to be a long year for the Saints. Incredibly, the Raiders have longer odds to win their division than the Saints do to win the NFC South. I suppose that's because the NFC South is always a mess. NFC East, the Eagles are minus 145 to win it. Commanders plus 200. Cowboys plus 850. Giants plus 1,800. I think the Cowboys is plus 850 is a lot. I get that the Commanders, they got Larry Tunsil, they got Deebo Samuel, but there's a lot of old players on that team, and I think that they are relying on those veterans a lot. I do not know that the Commanders are better this coming season. I like Jaden Daniels, but could we not see Jaden Daniels having the same kind of sophomore slump as a CJ Stroud? So I think the Commanders have a chance to get overtaken by the Dallas Cowboys in the division. And I think at plus 850, that's not a terrible play for the NFC East, given that the Cowboys aren't as bad as they're being made out to be. Dak Prescott's back. George Pickens is playing with a good quarterback for the first time in his career. I'm intrigued to see what happens, but I am also picking the Eagles, as right now they're holding up the 2 Lombardi trophies that they've won. NFC North. The Packers are plus 165 to win it. Lions plus 190. Vikings plus 360. That's too high with J.J. McCarthy under center. And the Bears with Caleb Williams plus 600. I am not sold on Caleb Williams, in case you couldn't tell a little bit earlier. I am going to pick the Packers here. I am going with pretty much all of the favorites, which again goes to show you that you could either throw bleep against the wall or just go by the favorites when it comes to these predictions and then come back months later from now and say, yeah, I was right. And you should be called someone who's full of shit if you're very proud about getting that right. Full of shit. I cannot stand how people are so into smelling their own farts when it comes to preseason predictions. The Ravens are minus 170 to win the AFC North. I'm taking the Ravens as well. I think the Ravens are going to win the AFC North. I think the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl over the 49ers in a rematch of that one we saw in New Orleans a few years ago. Bengals plus 290, Steelers plus 475 with Aaron Rodgers aboard. Browns plus 4,000. They're the worst. I really want to pick the Bengals, but that defense, you cannot buy into it. And I know it brought in Shamar Stewart. He's going to have to make a whole lot of changes happen. Lou Anarumo's not there anymore. He's in Indianapolis. I think that's actually an interesting part about the Colts this season. AFC East, I want to pick my Patriots. See all the stuff on the wall behind me. But too early. Bills are minus 330. I think they are by far the most favorites of any team in the NFL when it comes to winning their division. Patriots are plus 475, Dolphins plus 950. I think the Dolphins have a better chance of finishing in second than the Patriots, but there are so many things that could potentially blow up for the Dolphins, and I think that at some point one of them will. Jets are plus 2,200 to win the AFC East. Yeah, I mean, what did you think was going to go down on that side of things? As far as conference championship odds, I said them a little bit ago. As far as who I think is winning the conference championship, I got the Ravens. I got the 49ers. And as far as the conference winner odds, if you go to DraftKings.com, which should endorse me, the 49ers are plus 900 to win the NFC. Those are fun odds. Very, very fun odds. Meanwhile, as far as the actual Super Bowl itself, I think the Ravens win. They're plus 600, tied with the Bills as favorites. Paul, you didn't do anything spicy. Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should let the season play out. Is that Mac from Always Sunny in Philadelphia who's hyping up the Eagles as they come out of the tunnel to defend their Super Bowl? Indeed it is. He's everywhere. As far as awards go, let's run through them. We're getting closer and closer to kickoff. We've got about 5 minutes. MVP. Lamar Jackson's plus 550. Josh Allen and Joe Burrow are plus 600. Patrick Mahomes plus 700. Jaden Daniels plus 850. Jordan Love plus 1,600. Justin Herbert plus 2,000. Jalen Hurts plus 2,000. Brock Purdy plus 2,200. Baker Mayfield plus 2,500. Kyler Murray plus 2,500. CJ Stroud is plus 3,000 to win MVP. I think he should be on the same tier as Herbert, as Purdy, as Mayfield and Murray, to be perfectly honest. But he's plus 3,000. If I'm actually picking an MVP, I think it's going to Joe Burrow. I think Burrow's going to have one of those years where the Bengals actually make the playoffs and he repeats what he did last season. Those stats were awesome. Offensive Player of the Year. Nico Collins is plus 2,000. And if you want to do a fun special on DraftKings, and I guess you got like 3 seconds to do it, Nico Collins as Offensive Player of the Year is plus 2,000, and Nico Collins to score 15 receiving touchdowns in the regular season is plus 4,000. That might be a fun prop. Get it in while you can. DraftKings.com. I think that the Offensive Player of the Year is going to be Bijan Robinson at plus 1,400. Defensive Player of the Year, I'm taking Agent Hutchinson at plus 700. Will Anderson 6th at plus 1,400. I think that Danielle Hunter kind of hurts him, though. The Coach of the Year award is the stupidest fucking award in the NFL. D'Amico Ryans is plus 4,000. He is ahead of Dan Quinn, Todd Bowles, Sean McDermott, Kevin O'Connell, Kevin Stefanski, John Harbaugh, Zach Taylor, Nick Sirianni, and Andy Reid. Andy Reid, maybe the best coach in the NFL, plus 8,000 to win Coach of the Year. John Harbaugh is plus 6,000. What the fuck are we doing? Mike Vrabel's the favorite at plus 600. This is one of those awards where Coach of the Year is not given to the best coach in the league. It's always about the story. It's more, hey, did you overcome the shitty expectations we had for you? It's so dumb. Comeback Player of the Year award is also dumb. Nick Chubb is 6th at plus 1,200. Anthony Richardson's on the board for this fucking award. Got benched after quitting in the middle of a game, plus 5,000 to win it. Offensive Rookie of the Year, for those who care, Jaden Higgins leads all Texans rookies at plus 5,000. And Travion Henderson is plus 1,200. That's the one I'm picking. Patriots running back. So there you go. Those are my preseason predictions for the Texans and for the National Football League. What are you going to do next, Paul? What's up? Well, how about you do this? How about you join me for a little watch party where I watch this football game, and on top of that, I also watch the Astros and Yankees in progress. Hang out, watch along with me. So let me get things all set up. What's up, Derpy Entertainment? Hello to you. Jay Streely asks, how is the offensive line? I am excited about Ariante Ursary because everyone is giving him rave reviews, but I am not expecting a lot out of him. Also on Instagram, Oak Tree says, he who shall not be named, Astros number 2 with dreadlocks. I think he's talking about all FV. That's the furthest we will go. Avi Lieberman Comedy asks, Paul is the greatest baseball mind in Houston. Do you feel that Paredes, who filled in great for Bregman, should be moved to second base to get his bat in the lineup if he can return for play? I would rather put him at DH. I think the hamstring issue is going to be a problem. That means playing Jordan in the field. That means playing Jose Altuve at left field. So that's what I would do. I don't think it's smart to risk injuring that anymore. All right, so let me get my wireless headphones on so we can get things started. Ooh, Boys to Men is singing the national anthem. That's fun. That's very fun. Very cool. Okay. Now let me change things up so I can watch the actual Astros game over here. Oh, yeah. Listen to this. This is fantastic. last name? Whenever the national anthem is on and I'm at an event where it's live, whenever they talk about the ramparts we watch, we're so gallantly streaming, I will find somebody and I will whisper in their ear, hey, that's my last name. People got so offended at Colin Kaepernick taking a knee against the flag, and I get it. If you're someone who respects the troop and all that, he was told that's the best way to protest. What I do is definitely worse than Colin Kaepernick. That's what my grandfathers fought in World War II for me to remind people that my last name is in the national anthem during the national anthem. And if you think otherwise, you're just a poopy pants. All right, let's put this Astros-Yankees game on as well. Oh, Lord. The Astros are down 1-0. Well, that's a bummer. That just bums me out. Okay, let's get this thing moved over. All right. How we doing, everybody? Can you hear me loud and clear? Do I need to pump the volume up at all? We certainly can. Definitely going to need to get a better chair at some point. Definitely going to need to get a better chair at some point. What's up, Ben? How you doing, buddy? Not enough rainbows, in my opinion. A little bit louder. Okay, I'll turn it up a little bit. Trip University. That guy looks like he might be related to me. Impressive eyebrows, brother. What happened? And did Aaron Judge? He did not. He flew out to deep center field. Damn. Jalen Carter got ejected? I think Jalen Carter just spit in Dak's mouth. Holy shit. Oh, he did? What an asshole. Yeah, toss him out. What an asshole. That's the most Philly thing I've ever seen. They didn't even play it down. What a way to start off the season. At least he didn't spit in his mouth. What an idiot. That's wild. Man, we haven't even really done anything yet. That's nuts. They got the ball in midfield. Oh. If I were a Lens, comments on Instagram at Sports Gallant. Season-ending injury and an ejection in under a minute. Yeah. That's crazy, man. I like Turpin. Fast player. Tarico. George Pickens caused a lot of attention with his antics. It's a nice way to put it. Fought a dude at the end of a game in the midst of a Hail Mary. Easy. Man, CD was wide open. Everyone was talking about that. Ooh! Everyone was talking about the Eagles secondary maybe not being as good as they were last year when the Texans got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. This number 8 guy, Jackson, not a good first two downs in action. Woof. Meanwhile, the other screen in here, the Yankees lead the Astros 1-0. Adoree Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, was a Titans first-round pick a million years ago. Touchdown Cowboys. So I did, on my radio show today, think that the Cowboys would cover the 8.5-point spread. I feel for anyone who picked the Eagles because you probably thought Jalen Carter was going to play the game, but one of the reasons is I thought that the Cowboys would at the very least have some success throwing the football. And I mean, that throw to CeeDee Lamb, that was money. 3rd and short, bomb. Also got to say this for Brian Schottenheimer. If that's your first drive, obviously no Jalen Carter, so you get to run the football a little bit more than you probably thought you were going to over the course of this game. But that was a hell of a throw. Dak to Lamb. And Jalen Carter, I mean, what a fucking idiot. All you can say. It's just so stupid. I mean, you've been in the NFL for a couple of years, and yeah, Adoree Jackson was a former Titans first-round pick. If that's who they're starting on the outside, I think it might be a long year for him because he's also up there as far as corners. 29 in corner years is pretty damn old. Astros Flag World Tour asks on Instagram, is this going to be the new standard for NFL games where teams score within 3 minutes? It might. Truly, I could see it going down like that. Ooh. I don't know why I always get push notifications on my phone for WNBA stuff, but get this, guys. Push notification from ESPN. Caitlin Clark announced she is officially shut down for the season with a groin injury. I have nothing on my ESPN app when it comes to getting WNBA notifications. Nothing. I got nothing on that front. Not a thing. And yet I get them all the time. Not going to lie. Kind of annoys me. I get that ESPN broadcasts the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark or no Caitlin Clark, I'm just not going to watch. You know? Meanwhile, top of the Astros order up. They're down 1-0 to the Yankees in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We saw Jeremy Pena just go down on strikes. So 2 outs. Jordan's going up against a lefty. Jordan generally does pretty well against lefties. If I Were a Lens says, I'll see you at the party tomorrow. That's right. Our ESPN Houston listener party is tomorrow at St. Arnold's. I'm looking forward to it. The girlfriend's coming out. It's going to be a hell of a time. I'm going to be dressed I'm going to look like a cocaine dealer. I will not have cocaine. Do not ask me for cocaine. I don't do that. Okay? Jordan just went yard. Boom. 1-1. Oh, shoot. Game's back on. Took the headset off for a second because I didn't want to hear Flo on the commercials. No offense to the fine people at Progressive. Ooh, got a little super chat from Texans Tags. What's going on, bud? Hang on, let me play the button. Let me get up and play the button.
Paul, stop talking. Listen.
How are you on this fine evening? I just realized this might be a shootout. The way this one's starting. Eagles moving the ball pretty quickly. Already past midfield. And Altuve just, I think, got thrown out trying to go to second base. Well, a question, and I guess I cannot see it on the restream down here. What does your hat say, Paul? So I'm wearing this because, in case you couldn't tell, I haven't showered. It says Houston Astros baseball, but it's a play on the El Tiempo logo, and it says Houston Astros baseball, pennants and rings. So if you like El Tiempo, this is the hat for you. Now, I think they stopped. I think they ran out, but I remember the first day that they came out of Dyken Park, I went immediately to grab one for myself. Immediately. Yeah, I love the hat, Texans for life. I mean, big bid on the radio show if you've never listened to it before. Jalen Hurts, easy touchdown run. This is going to be a fun game, I think. So the Eagles play DMX whenever they score a touchdown. They play, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me go all out. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me act a fool. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my cool. Up in here, up in here. Can I get the rest of the lyrics? Now, something, 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 something. It better be quick. All you friends out there, suck my dick, right? Something, something, gun quick. You gotta run quick. 911 shit. All over some dumb shit. Those fellows remind me of a strip club because every time I come around, it's just like what? I just have to get serviced. Anyway, there you go. We have to keep it PG for the kids. For the kids! It's been very funny seeing, I just opened up my X. Texans for Life says Jalen Carter's thinking he's Rajon Rondo spitting at Dak Prescott. Is that why Rondo got ejected from that Maverick series? No. Rockets Lakers 2018. Rondo was ejected along with Chris Paul and Brandon Ingram after a brawl in which Rondo spit at Chris Paul's face, triggering the fight. Rondo was suspended for 3 games. Paul got suspended too for retaliating? That's some bullshit. Anyway, bringing it back to... I'm going to take the headset off for a second. Taking it back to what Schefter said. He posts this. This is some, no offense, Adam Schefter, who I respect. Some added clarity. NFL Red Zone is 7 hours, 420 minutes. Over that time, viewers will be served 1 to 2 total minutes of ads in 15-second increments. This comes out to anywhere between 0.25% to 0.5% of the total time, considerably less than other sports and entertainment programs. Sure, but this is how it starts. This is how it starts. And no one wants to hear, well, actually, it's only this many commercials. No. The big thing from Scott Hansen when NFL Red Zone starts is that you're going to get uninterrupted commercial-free football. Is it going to be interrupted significantly? It doesn't seem like that is the case, but there's a lot of people that are doing some bootlicking for all the sales folks. And I don't know. No one wants ads. We got to deal with it enough. I mean, you got to pay extra now on Netflix or Amazon Prime to watch without ads. You didn't used to have to do that bullshit. Now you do. So no one wants more ads. Anyway. Manny Man 17. I gotta zoom in. I gotta figure out a way to be able to see my Instagram chat. You say GIG, dog? Oh, a brawl. Let's go. Show the replay. Show the replay. You have all the cameras in the world. Can we see one? We see guys when their knees spontaneously combust. You can't show one. There we go. Oh, yeah. Cooper DeJean pulled his helmet off. So I got to buckle up your chin strap. Brandon Halam comments on YouTube. Dak, come on, Jalen. You know spitting on me costs $60 million a year. That reference and joke is going over my head. The ... the ellipses implies a joke. Meanwhile, Christian Walker's at the plate for the Astros. You know, something to note about old Christian Walker is that Walker, one of my girlfriends, not the girlfriend, but a close friend who is a girl, is obsessed with Christian Walker, and it's weird. It's very weird. I'm hoping that she will send some text into the show about Christian Walker, but she is the number one Christian Walker stan out there. Man, Dak looks awesome out there, and so does CeeDee Lamb. That was a hell of a play. Woo! Man, Dak and Lamb look great. I wasn't the biggest CeeDee Lamb fan because I feel like he's put on a pedestal with both Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase that he doesn't belong on. Like, I think he's a top 10 receiver, but, you know, seeing how he was drafted in fantasy football leagues, 4th, 5th, I was surprised by that, but goddamn, he's making me eat my words tonight. All right. We'll see if the Cowboys can get out of this. Throw it to Lamb. It's just been unstoppable. Yeah. He had a guy open on the left side, Turbin, and he went to the right instead. Tough to see when you got a blitzer coming off the edge, and it would have been a hard throw. But Dak should have looked to his left on that one. Watch this on the replay. It seemed like everybody was towards the middle of the field. Meanwhile, Zach Bond, who was awesome in the Super Bowl, making some more plays. Oh, you got to catch that, son. There we go. Pickens should have caught that, but Quinion Mitchell 100% interfered with him there. Let's see the replay. Oh, my God. Yeah, holy crap. He was holding him for 15 yards. Still almost got it one-handed. My bad, George. Don't fight me. Oh, but he did not need to. He did hot dog it a little bit. He did hot dog it a little bit at the end. Put your other hand out there. Man, Jalen Carter is missed. That's a good first quarter. Shout out to Dallas. Offenses look great. Eagles look good on that first drive, too. To this point, in case you missed it, Jalen Carter, which is so fucking stupid, decided before a down had even been played to get in Dak Prescott's face and spit at him. He got tossed immediately. Can't do that. Especially if the NFL is cracking down on sportsmanship. You're testing it out less than 5 seconds into the game? Dumb. I guess CD Lamb, Eagles fans are already out there saying fire Sirianni. Oh, this is hilarious. Looking on X. C Mike Spin Move, who's a fun Seahawks account, is just reposting people saying fire Nick Sirianni. Eagles fans are something else. All right, I will be right back. I'm going to put some popcorn on the stove. So, right now, if you're watching along, the Yankees are up 2-1 on the Astros right now. Christian Javier's still in. There's one out in the top of the fifth. So at least he's pitching deep into the game, but the Astros are not scoring runs early on in games, which has been an all-season problem. And I don't know, if you've been listening to me on the radio the last couple of days, you'd probably notice that I've had a little bit of a man version of PMS. I've had PFS. I've had pre-football syndrome. This time of year, I always start to lose my mind that there's still 20-plus regular season baseball games left. This is what happens when you're someone who follows a team that's always in the playoffs and you realize that the regular season doesn't matter that much. All you want to do is just be like, can we please, for the love of God, get to the playoffs? Because playoff baseball is awesome. And these regular season games, especially when, at this point, I mean, we know the Astros are going to win the AL West. I jokingly called the division in June, but after all those struggles the Astros have been through the last couple of months, the Mariners did catch up for a second and actually had a share of first place. And then they just fell apart after getting red hot. Rangers are hot on their ass right now. They're only a game and a half back. So, I mean, I suppose that's the way things go sometimes, but I want to just get to the playoffs, and I'm sorry if I've been grumpy on the radio side of things, Just sick of it. Watching along the Cowboys and Eagles as well. Cowboys offense has looked fantastic these first two drives, and Jalen Carter is a moron. My goodness, what are you doing? What are you thinking? You're definitely not thinking, but what was that about? Like, hey, I'm going to confront the quarterback before a snap even happens. What, you're going to intimidate a veteran by spitting on him? It's spit. I think we're over all the COVID freak out stuff. This isn't the 90s in the midst of the AIDS epidemic either. Like, what did you think was going to happen there? Saquon Barkley. Get this. Also awesome. Eagles moving the football again. So, as much as I like the Cowboys offensively and said that as much going into this season on today's show, defense not exactly slowing the Eagles down to this point. Eagles obviously are loaded offensively too. So Philly's near midfield, and the Yankees have Aaron Judge at the plate with 1 out and 2 on in the 5th. Man, Barkley's so good. He's got a lot of runs for not much, but those ones that he breaks off, man, he's so good. So Judge just got walked. Bases loaded, top of the 5th for the Yankees. It's 2-1 with 1 out. Eagles, meanwhile, at midfield, 2nd and 6. In case you are watching along, which you should be. Watch party! Dallas Goedert, still in the league. It's 3rd and short for Philly. Oh, wide open. First down for Philly. Once again, marching. Cody Bellinger just drove in at least one. So it's 3-1 Yankees, top of the 5th. I hope Cody Bellinger got booed, but given how many Yankees fans are at this series, I imagine there weren't that many. This is going to be a shaky situation for the Astros, just given some of the work their bullpen's been getting of late. I know they just flashed the graphic up on the Space City Home Network. Looks like Javier's about to get pulled. So bases loaded. 1 out, top of the 5th. He threw 6 no-hit innings his last time out there. And considering he's only been back for a few, I mean, gave you a pretty good amount here. God, this is so easy for the Eagles. I mean, either they wanted a holding, I guess the Cowboys did. I'm assuming it happened on the left side if it happened. Man, I don't know about that. Hurts seemed to have the corner. Hurts is really having an easy time out there. That's a credit to the Eagles' offensive line. And obviously, Saquon Barkley is just doing Saquon Barkley things out there, too. But very easy for Philly. Dallas moved the football, but a little bit more degree of difficulty going up against Philly's defense. He saw that one throw that Dak had where he rolled out to his left and found CeeDee Lamb in traffic. Yeah, great job by Barkley hanging onto the football there. A lot of people think that was a hold. All right. I guess I'm wrong. Man. Woo! Hurts is running all over the Cowboys there. What did he say? Chad Shipman 13 says box squats don't count. Is that what Jalen Hurts does for squats, or is that what Saquon Barkley does for squats? I'll say this game's moving for quickly, at least on the NFL side of things. Giancarlo Stanton's got a weird stance. Just struck out with the bases loaded. That seems to be on brand for him in crunch time situations. Hurts scrambling. Oh, my God. Touchdown. Easy money. Woo! Maybe Kenny Clark should have done that. Spitting on Jalen Hurts. Projectile vomit. I think you could get ejected for that. But maybe you'd have plausible deniability if it's projectile vomit. Like, oh, he's just sick. Would have to be someone who was on the injury report leading up to the game. Good game thus far. Captain Photon says the Cowboys need number 11. Well, it would help, certainly, that's for sure, to have someone that fast rushing after him. Kenny Clark not providing much of a difference up the middle, you know? I really wonder, Jalen Hurts in the regular season, it's always annoying to watch it because you can tell that he's got like a speed limiter on, you know what, like they have with those electric cars. But we know how strong he is, how powerful he is, and if he actually ran through people, I mean, can you imagine how many yards he would actually get? Be right back. Popcorn is popping. All right. Ma'am. So to this point, if you're a Cowboys fan, you got to at least be feeling good about the offense. Dak Prescott looks pretty awesome. I mean, that one throw that he had to CeeDee Lamb while rolling to his left. Holy shit. Defensively, yeah, a lot to be desired, and obviously Micah Parsons' absence. You got to imagine there's at least some impact it's having on what's been going down. But it's 14-14. The Eagles' most important defensive player on the defensive line is out because he's a fucking idiot. Got to be feeling good. Big fan of the white popcorn from HEB. Paul, you're racist! You son of a bitch. Well, I don't know. The gold stuff's okay. This makes me feel like I'm not as much of a fat shit when I'm eating it. I like to mix some of the salt and kettle corn mix on top of it. And since I do the not microwave bag version of popcorn. I do the like put on the stove and cook kind of popcorn. It's more difficult for me to get it, so I don't eat as much of it all the time. Basically, I make snacks for me. Very inconvenient to get, so I don't have them as much. Captain Photon says they don't turn it over. I think the boys could win this. Well, they're going to have to score, I think, every single drive, just given the way things have been going. They are at midfield now. Let me put my headset on so I can hear Mike and Chris. A noted Italian, Mike Tirico. See, like a play like that. Ooh. Did the Eagles do something dumb at the end of that play? Is that one referee wearing sunglasses at night? Unsportsmanlike conduct. These Georgia guys. Because he stood over him, that's why. Can't stand over, guys. Lame. Oof. Damn, Dak. Damn, Dak. I think Anthony Richardson would sub out after a play that involved that much stress. That was a hell of a play, Dak. Man. Common Sense 200 says, I want Dallas to look bad. I wanted a reason for urinating Tree to laugh at Dallas again. Common Sense 200, who is urinating Tree? This reference eludes me. It has gone over my head, as the kids say. 3rd and 2 for Dak and company. Right up the middle. Demonte Williams, man. Got to be feeling good about him if you drafted him in your fantasy league. It is a one-game kind of thing, but Brian Schottenheimer, I got to say, Seahawks offense never looked like this in Seattle when he was running it. Oh, YouTube host. His name is Urinating Tree. What a name. I guess I don't guess. I do not watch YouTube shows. I probably should. Like every now and then I'll watch Landry. But I'm more of like a podcast listener. But I appreciate people watching along tonight. Oh! Oh, almost intercepted. Defensive lineman hands. Man, that deflection went away. Jeremy Pena, infield single today. He's got so many of those this season. Ooh! Yeah, that was out of the end zone. Mitchell definitely got away with some contact on Pickens, but uncatchable ball there. Big Ball Squad says he's a sports YouTuber. He has some good Oilers history videos. It's something like that. All right, I'm going to have to check him out. Captain Photon says, when did you become a Texan fan? I mean, since I've been down here, I've always wanted the team to do well because you want the team to be relevant. Now, when I first moved down here, I moved when the Texans were reaching the peak of their popularity in 2011 and 2012 because they were finally good and they had a chance to beat the Ravens in 2011 despite being down to their third-string quarterback. I remember when I first came down here being a Patriots fan, thinking to myself, oh, they aren't on the Patriots level. But honestly, if they were healthy, if Schaub didn't get injured, who knows? Really, who knows? They might have had one of the 2 bye weeks in the AFC. Maybe the Texans play the Patriots in those playoffs. Who knows how they go? The next year, I think it was pretty clear that the Texans weren't on the Patriots level. I know they had the great start and they were 11-1, but I remember feeling pretty confident with the way they'd been playing the couple of weeks before about the Patriots on that Monday night Letterman jacket game. So I know I haven't answered the question yet. What I'm trying to say is, though, that it took me a while to actually get emotionally affected by the Texans when they played, but it happened over a couple of years because every single Sunday while working over at the Texans flagship, my whole day was spent covering the Texans. So it's very rare that I even get to watch the Patriots, and I would watch highlights and clips after the game, and sometimes I'd watch the full game, and if they were in prime time, I'd be able to watch the whole thing. But generally, I'd be spending 8 to 9 hours on a Sunday at NRG Stadium working, you know? So when you're working, you don't really get to watch your favorite team, and if you're covering one team long enough, you're going to end up becoming a fan of it. Now, I would definitely feel weird watching the Texans play the Patriots, but I remember back in 2018, I think it was the season opener where the Patriots won because the Texans shot themselves in the foot a lot in the game. I remember being more mad that the Texans lost than happy about the Patriots winning. So it was probably then where I was like, oh yeah, I know I definitely like this team. But it definitely took a while. That said, Houston is my home. I want it to be my home going forward. Hopefully jobs cooperate on that front because I have spent 11 to 12 years here. I feel like I know what I'm talking about now, too. Got a little context for history. Thankfully, did not have to watch the absolute worst years. 2020, I came back at the end of it. Or 2021, I came back at the end of it. 2020, I missed all of it. So the end of the 2021 season was when I drove back. That's how I got my job with Vanessa. I went to the Seahawks-Texans game to report on it. They let me go. And I met Vanessa for a snack at halftime, and we talked, and that's how we ended up doing the show after that. So that's a long, rambling story, Captain Photon, and I hope that you didn't get the Billy Madison principle feeling. At no point during your incoherent rambling did you say anything that could resemble a natural thought. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Also, hopefully I don't look like an absolutely disgusting pig eating this popcorn. Oh. Channel. Captain Photon says, very cool. I always like Tom Brady. Hell yeah. Common Sense 200 says, I meant channel. He roasts all the teams in baseball, football, and sometimes basketball. Okay, I'm going to have to check it out. As a hater, I think I will enjoy this. Because I like to roast and shit on everything, too. Paul, you're so arrogant, so cocky. I had a Framber Valdez rant on the radio on the ESPN Houston channel on yesterday's show, and it was funny seeing some of the comments. Like, you're so arrogant. And I mean, it does seem arrogant a lot. But I'm pretty self-deprecating. Oh, look who joined us. Look who decided to join us. Come here. Cat is in the room. She's rubbing her face against my feet. Come here. Come here. What do you want? Hmm? Oh, there she goes. That is the I want you to follow me move. And then when I don't follow her, she gets upset. I am watching the Astros as well. Yes, middle of the sixth inning, Astros got out of it. De Los Santos, good for him. He's been pretty good tonight. Offense takes a while to get going. Yordan Alvarez is the only home run for the Astros tonight. Hi. Yeah. Oh, what a throw. Big Ball Squad 2021. Ask me anything at this point. Paul, if you had the choice, would you rather the Texans keep the uniform that they're wearing now or the Oilers uniform? I mean, the Oilers uniform is awesome. It really is. The light blue is so unique. I think the contrast with the white helmets looks great. I think the jerseys look good in all white and with the Columbia blue. And it's a shame the Titans aren't even going to wear them anymore, and they're going to call that color Titans blue. I suppose they feel a little guilty about wearing those uniforms and the backlash it received when they wore it specifically against the Texans. But yeah, I wish they had those. Nothing against Houston Texans. To me, it's a little too similar to my favorite team, the Patriots. You know, it's like a dark navy blue and red. And I think there's too many teams that have the dark navy blue and red look. I actually think the Texans should go to red as the primary color, with the helmets at least. That's not going to happen, though. And I don't hate Texans as a nickname. I do wish the logo was not a cow. I know it's a bull, but when I see a cow, or when I see the horns, I mean, does that represent a Texan? No. And I think it would be cooler if it was like, I don't know, Sam Houston or some Texas Ranger or, I don't know, someone with a gun. Paul, Texas is all about guns. No, I think that would work. Common Sense 200 says, urinating trees connected to Brandon Perna from That's Good Sports and Tom Grossi. All are major YouTubers. All right, I'm going to have to... I don't know shit about shit, clearly. I'm a 36-year-old man who is stuck in the past but trying to branch out, so I'll have to check them out. Honestly, I don't watch enough of these channels, and I don't post enough either. Hurts just flopped. Eagles fans are pissed. Oh, okay. He fell. He tripped against someone. Took out the sound guy. Eagles fans are pissed. What else is new? But I mean, they're looking for any sort of like, wait, he did that after their best defensive player got ejected before the game even began. Easy. Philly's defense doing it, or excuse me, Philly's offense is doing whatever the fuck it wants. Speaking of Bulls, I think Cam Jurgens went viral this offseason, Eagles offensive lineman, for doing drills against steers of some sort. I doubt they were bulls, but I think it was a cow. Meanwhile, Aaron Boone and the Yankees are upset about something. I guess I missed that. Eagles are up 21-17 with 51 seconds to go in the first half. Behan and Paul, are you ready for the listener party tomorrow? I am ready. I am ready. I do hope my girlfriend's ready, because she's going to be there. I don't think she's seen me in front of, like, masses of people. I'm definitely going to need a couple of social lubricants before I feel 100% comfortable. I always feel angst when I go to settings and I haven't had a drink. I don't know what that says about me. Man, Aaron Boone is bitching and moaning about something. But yeah, I'm ready. Behan asked me that on Instagram too. Sorry, man. The Instagram chat, either I have to have... There's no way to get the Instagram chat in the Restream chat. in front of me. Captain Photon asks, can she co-host with you? She'll have to answer that herself. Captain Photon says Cowboys defense is a no. Common Sense 200 says, well, Jerry traded the one person who could have slowed them down. Yep. I mean, I don't know if he's the one person. Man, the Yankees are doing some stupid shit these last two games. They just threw the ball away in what could have been a double play. I don't know that they got an out and throwing it away. Okay, they did get one out, but they throw it away and Yordan Alvarez scores from second on what should have been a double play. The ghosts of Minute Maid Park. Awesome, B. Hannon. It'll be great to see you and great to meet you and great to meet your girlfriend. Congrats on the sex. I say that because people say that to me when I'm like, oh, I'm dating someone. It's been awesome. They're like, congrats on the sex. I'm like, hey, it's more than that. It's a real relationship. It's weird to me. Boys need to get to the 50, says Captain Photon. We shall see. Nice coverage, but a flag thrown. B. Hannon says we have met before at Spanish Flower. Were you the one who gave me the shot? I'm sorry. It's hard to remember handles. But I feel like I met you on the way out. Common Sense 200 says the Astros are going to suck in the postseason. I mean, it's not looking great because offensively they don't get scoring generally until like the fifth inning, third time they hit against a pitcher, you know? And their bullpen ain't great. Oh, cool. B. Hannon, thank you for that shot. I think I thanked you then. But in case I forgot it after said shot. Man, the Eagles, Nolan Smith, that's his second personal foul tonight. Yep, hand to the face. That's an easy one. I do think hand to the face, there should be varying degrees of hands to the face penalties. Like, they shouldn't all be 15. Because sometimes a hand to the face is like a tap. They're wearing a face mask. But if someone's, like, putting their hand underneath the face mask or, like, actually affecting the person's movement, fine. But people get love tapped on the sideline for making a good play all the time. Those helmets really do protect the shit out of you. You know? So that should have been like a 5-yarder in my opinion, but nope. Jake Ferguson didn't get out of bounds there. But they did get close to the midfield. Captain Photon. There's an artificial intelligence commercial for Amazon on right now, and to do a spin-off of Game of Thrones, what do we say to the god of death? What do we say to the future gods of our death? Not today. Fuck artificial intelligence. It would be very nice if Christian Walker did something that appeases my girl who is a friend who is obsessed with him. I cannot explain it. She finds him very, very attractive. I don't know if it's the pants or the face or what, but she is a fan. And it would be nice if Christian Walker, I don't know, put one in the seats so that it's a 4-4 game and the Astros get a rally for the second straight game. That would be nice. Pickens almost dropped it. Got to spike it. Nope. Yeah, it's in the middle of the field. You have to call that timeout. Common Sense 200 says, I feel like this game could end up in the 50s. Well, I don't know, because these drives are taking so much time. So I will say high 30s. But there hasn't been a stop yet. 3 touchdowns for Philly, 2 touchdowns, and a field goal for Dallas. And they're not far away from field goal range. All right. In the meantime, all right. Just subscribe to Urinating Tree. That's not going to... Wow. Good job, Cowboys. Good job. I thought they were going to run out of time. All right, so that's Urinating Tree. Who's the other person? I was trying to see if Aubrey hits this field goal. Eagles trying to ice him. That's good sports. Okay. I think I've seen this person, Brandon Perna, before. And Tom Grossi. Let's see. Okay. Tom Grossi comedy. Creating NFL content since 2015. Damn. 11,000 people are watching this. Slightly different than mine. Appreciate you guys sticking around. I'm sure that's a lot more lively in some of these other chats. I'm going to try to do this for every Monday and Thursday night football game this year. Aubrey's so good. All right. I mean, if you're a Cowboys fan, you got to be pretty happy with what you saw in the first half. Specifically, Dak Prescott looks like the Dak Prescott we saw 2 years ago, who was one of the best quarterbacks in the league statistically. Didn't have the narrative that would allow him to be a serious MVP candidate, I guess, in the eyes of some. Or at least enough voters. I honestly forget where he finished in the MVP vote a couple of years ago. But just showed a graphic on NBC. The Cowboys scored more points in this half than they did all year against Philly last season. Yeah, you got to be feeling great if you're Brian Schottenheimer. Obviously, you got some help from Jalen Carter being a fucking idiot, but you got to be feeling pretty good. I can't believe that guy spit on Dak before the game even started. Like, what an idiot. B. Hannon asks on YouTube, Patriots winning 8 games this year. Last place schedule helps. I am bullish on Drake May, but cautiously bullish. I'm not, jumping up on a table and say, this is the guy. I'm more, if he does something good, I'm doing a fist bump. Fist pump under the table. Because generally with young quarterbacks, he's probably not the guy. I think he turns the ball over a lot. I like how mobile he is. But is mobility going to help the Patriots' offense and their lack of skill players after running back? Like Ramondre Stevenson and Trevion Henderson, they're rookie. They look good, but you got an offensive line with a lot of moving parts. Hopefully Will Campbell is, as he has been billed in training camp. Is Stephon Diggs your leading receiver? I mean, the offense, I think there's some serious questions, and defensively, there's a lack of depth. B. Hannon says, I think they could with Vrabel. Yeah, I like Vrabel a lot. I mean, I'm definitely optimistic about that, but that last season with Jerod Mayo and the last couple of years of Bill Belichick drafting, I mean, you in totality, it's put them in this spot where they just don't have a lot of great talent. What else do we have here? Common Sense 200 asks, did Dak end up getting drafted low, like the 5th or something? 4th round. I want to say 4th round. Yes, 135th overall in the 2016 NFL draft. First quarterback the Cowboys had drafted since 2009. Became the starter in 2016 after Tony Romo got hurt. He's looking great tonight. He really is. I think if you're a Cowboys fan, you at the very least have to be excited about that side of things. Craig Kimbrell's weird stance before every single pitch he throws is something else. I completely forgot about it until this moment just now. Got 2 TVs on. Astros on one TV. The NFL season opener on the other. And totally forgot that he does this weird kung fu looking thing before every single pitch. Is it an intimidation tactic? Meanwhile, Aaron Judge is the biggest dude. He is just so big. One of the rare people who on television you can tell is huge in a sport like baseball where it is kind of difficult to get a perspective on height. So you could say the same thing about basketball too, because there's so many tall guys out there at the same time. Not the best hair day for Kimbrell because his pitch comm's not working. What's up, mother effing cornbread on the Twitch side of things? Welcome to the chat. We're watching the Texans. Just kidding. We're watching the Astros and Yankees, and we're watching a little game that we like to call football. It's the NFL opener. Chris Sims has a very 1930s Germany looking haircut. He looks kind of like, what was his name? He looks like Dietrich, the Nazi bad guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Herman Dietrich, played by Wolf Kaller. First name Wolf. What a great name. Mother effing Cornbread asks, where's the future Mrs. Gallant? Oh, it's been 5 months. However, things are going great, but we do not live together after 5 months. Mother effing Cornbread. Come on now. Amazingly, she watches my shit. She might even be watching this bad boy. But she will be at the listener party tomorrow at St. Arnold's. Would be nice if you showed up, Mother effing Cornbread. I apologize. I wish I knew how to unban you from the ESPN 975 Twitch. Alas, earwax. Common Sense 200 says, Tom Grossi was allowed to call one of the Green Bay Packers picks during this year's draft. He is a major Packer. Interesting. Yeah, I am not there with the Texans. It is funny when I make my posts. Generally, Astros posts do well, and I've been trying to change the algorithm up so I have like a separate YouTube channel for Astros content. But the problem is I just haven't been posting as much because it takes a little bit of time after the show to download it and post it. And since I'm not getting any money for those, I've gotten to the point of, well, what's the point, you know? So I'm posting less clips from the radio show, and I apologize for that. But if you're not getting any money for it, you know, it's kind of a waste. I'm tempted to make myself a vodka martini, but it is a weeknight, and I always behave on weeknights. You know? B. Hannon, I got my bolts tomorrow. Bolts? Oh, the Chargers. I forgot. They're playing that Friday bullshit game. I forgot about that in Brazil. Giving NFL games to Nazi harborers that do not share our values as a country. What a load of bullshit. Captain Photon says, feels like you went from being single to a whirlwind relationship. Was it your looks or personality? Behan says, I'm picky. Yeah, that is true. Well, just to be perfectly honest, there's been a lot of people I've dated over my life, and I mean, there are varying interpretations of what dated actually means in 2025. And the last couple of people that I've gone on dates with regularly, I wanted to date them. I don't know if they ever wanted to date me, if they weren't ready, but I was definitely looking for more than just fun, and it just wasn't happening. And I think sometimes I come on a little bit strong, but other times I honestly couldn't put a finger on what it was, And I'm thankful that things have worked the way that they have, because this is the first time I've ever dated someone who I am extremely attracted to, who is incredibly supportive, because I get a little annoying from time to time. And I mean, she's more than that, but just a very sweet, thoughtful, and caring person. And it's certainly not something right away that I knew, but I came to find out about it pretty quick. And I mean, it's been great. It really has been. We talk every day. We have exchanged L-bombs. I mean, it's really been awesome. And it's the first time in my life that I can really say that about a relationship. And I'm really thankful. Hopefully it lasts, and all you can do is continue to live in the moment and enjoy it. So there you go. And the Astros just hit a home run. It's 4-3. Is that Jesus Sanchez? Ooh, he's doing some pointing. I love it. He doesn't pronounce his name like Jesus, but he just hit a home run. That was fun when you were young. Captain Photon says, I'm looking forward to the Texans season. I just am looking forward to the NFL, because I was talking about this on the radio show today. I had PFS. I was being a little bitch on the radio this week, just grumpy for no reason, and I was actually getting combative with people on the YouTube and on the Twitch side of things in the chat. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more mad I am at myself for that. I beat myself up a lot, and I don't know what it was, but I was just feeling feisty and clapping back at people, and I came to the conclusion that I am dealing with, one, the knowledge that this baseball season, after tonight, the Astros have 21 more regular season games before the real playoff game. So they still have an eighth of the season left. And two, I really only care about football as far as sports. I'm passionate about football. I enjoy basketball. I enjoy playoff baseball. I don't really give a shit about any of the other sports. If there was a hockey team here, I think I would probably enjoy it on the same level that I enjoy basketball, if not more. I like violent and physical sports. That's why football is my number one. I played it, grew up in Massachusetts watching the Patriots, so definitely have an obsession. Second half already underway. That was a quick halftime. Mother effing Cornbread says, Paul, I'm proud of you for pulling the El Tiempo sponsorship. Well, yeah, I hope we do more shows there. I do have questions about how we can do more stuff with them, but not generally up to me, That's on the sales staff, so hopefully things will work out. I've done all I can do, What is it, 700,000 views on that post? I have no idea how that one blew up. That's the most blown up post I've ever had in my life. TikTok as well. The last time I had something go like that was talking about the WNBA on Instagram. This got 3 times the views. I appreciate everyone who's stopping by, maybe watching me for the first time. You're like, wow, Paul, you look like a clown when you're not on the air. Yeah, this is my lounging around shirt. Girlfriend found this shirt at a thrift store for like $5. It's so comfy. And unlike most of my Hawaiian shirts, because I'm in this weird, like, I should wear large shirts, but large is a little baggy. And medium shirts, they're a little tight because my chest's a little bigger than people my frame typically have. So it's tricky. I wish there was a size between large and medium, but there isn't, you know? B. Hannon says regular season baseball doesn't matter. Then they extended the wild card. I agree. I mean, it's like the college football playoff expanding. And honestly, what they're doing is, in baseball, taking pressure off of some of the shitty owners who don't spend money by making it so every team can say, we made the playoffs. And it's easy to do it when you got an NFL-sized amount of teams making it. But it really does, sort of like the college football playoff, diminish the regular season just a little bit. Yes, medium. No, it's Ledium. Ledium. Damn, Saquon Barkley. He's great. Did Jeremy Pena change up his stance? Pena's at the plate. 0 for 5 tonight. 0 for 5 against Luke Weaver over the course of his career. We got that game on mute. I need to hear Chris Collinsworth and Mike Tirico. Oh, I hate Largo stopping by on the Twitch, too. What's up, Largo? Good to see you. A.J. Dillon. I forgot he was on the Eagles. Yeah, this is the squat team between Jalen Hurts and Saquon and A.J. Dillon. Holy shit. Look at A.J. Dillon's legs. God damn. What kind of pants do you have to wear if you're that size? That is true, Mike Tirico just pointed out. There has not been a tush push to this point for the Eagles. Haven't needed it, to be perfectly honest. Largo says, haven't seen someone cross as hard, Fromber and Salazar, since Paul's outfit at Roswell's. Well, guess what? I'm wearing the white pants again with an even louder shirt at the Lister party tomorrow. Jordan just got a hit, so runners on first and second with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Oof, right in the knee. Ow. Okay, we're paying a little more attention to the Astros right now. Motherfucking Cornbread asks, do we need the wave? Yeah. Wave gets a lot of hate. But the wave is fun. It keeps you awake during a long baseball game. And if you've had 1 El Tiempo margarita or 2 El Tiempo margaritas at Dyken Park, I mean, you might be nodding off. You know? Things you got to keep in mind. Oh, wow. A sack. Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark, half a sack. Micah Parsons, 0. Huh. It's the first time there's been any pressure up front for the Cowboys all game. Yeah, the right guard forgot to block the Cowboys pass rusher there. You don't do that. Largo, not fair. We aren't invited to the listener party. When we listened so hard, we even heard things that 97.5 host said on a hot mic during a commercial break. I've had my own moment like that. Ooh, Hurts almost blindside sacked on that one. Eagles are definitely in field goal range. So finally, a stop by Dallas's defense. Captain Photon with an OMG. I'm wondering if he's ahead on the game broadcast. Jake Elliott was 1 for 7 from 50 or more. That's really bad. Right down the middle. Great kick. Oh, look, the wave. And you can see that on the chat bar. Is the Josh Reddick woo worse than the wave? Yeah. It got a little old after a while. I mean, repetitive sounds out of nowhere get very, very old. Someone just posted, whatever this commercial break is, please make it stop. What's going on here? Oh, of course. Of course, Largo. Knew you were going to do that. Jesus Christ. I mean, drawn like that, it looks like a respect the troops ribbon. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my God. By the way, YouTubers and Twitchers can interact in the chat bar that you can see to my right. If you're watching along on Instagram, you have no idea what the hell's happening. How do you make that? Are those dice emojis? Is that Braille? Oh my God. Oh, John Mechie. A John Mechie sighting. John Mechie just made a tackle. I mean, I miss the chat being a little more lively. I was always annoyed, though, that you guys never seemed to listen to the show. I always felt like the chat was for you guys to hang out with each other more than it was to listen to me. And as an egomaniac, that grinds my gears. I'm the star. Captain Photon, that is a pretzel. Yes. That is, that is definitely a pretzel. It's even veiny. Oh my God. Oh, man. Dory Jackson hurt? Oh, no. How will the Eagles ever recover? All right. 3rd and 1 for the Cowboys at their own 38. Ooh, Brian Schottenheimer. Ballsy call. Mother effing cornbread. Dallas is down 24-20, but they've been pretty respectable. B. Hannon, what are your thoughts on UNC football? Well, I know they lost by a lot of points in game 1 to a team that was in the college football playoff a couple of years ago. But they were in the college football playoff. And, you know, Belichick is one of the greatest football minds ever. And you got to remember, you can't let anyone in the ACC see your best plays. So I think Bill Belichick is just trying to play possum for the most fearless college football conference that there is. I mean, it's the best ACC, you know. Florida State, back. Clemson, they almost won a game at home against an SEC team. Miami, Carson Beck, took down Notre Dame. Syracuse, 10 wins last year. Let's go. Largo, I don't know if I want to see the Dallas Cowboys R2. I don't know if I want to see it, but B-Hannon, to answer your question, I just think that the I'm having a brain fart. This commercial came up. I think Belichick was purposefully holding back, you know. And if you don't agree, then you just don't know football. It's that simple. Captain Photon says, yeah, that's what Texas did. Didn't want to show all their plays. That's right. Steve Sarkisian did not want to show all the plays there. He didn't want to do that. Smart. All right, some of you guys know ball. Like, Belichick allowing 48 points for the first time in his NFL career. That's just because he was keeping things close to the vest and stuff. Okay? I thought Steve Spurrier was washed after the NFL. Yeah, that was not a great experience, Steve Spurrier with Washington. The old ball coach. And he goes back to South Carolina after that. And hey, Munkles. Psst, psst, psst. Come here, babe. Come here. Mother effing Cornbread asks, what happens with getting Cody Stutes on the show? Well, I don't know. I don't think the Texans people that have become digital only want to do radio anymore, especially if they're not getting paid. I don't blame them. And also, I don't know. I there are times where I wonder if they give a shit about what I have to say, and that's fine. They're covering the team a little bit more than me. So, I don't know. I did want to make that happen. I spitballed it as an allowed idea, but from what I understand, whoa, Miles Sanders still in the league? Yeah, he was an Eagle back in the day. Largo, I like Cody. Cody's always been good to me. But yeah, it seems like they're going in their own little specific silo. And I listened to SNL, the podcast that they do about the Texans. But I see now they're going to do something on Mondays. I think it's going to be Sean Pendergast, who I used to do the Texans post-game show with, and Reggie Atatula, who's doing the midday show there. Would I have liked an invite? Of course. But I get it. I get it. Woo. Got sucked into my phone, everybody. Captain Photon, I totally missed that. Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in. Like second and to the one. Oof. Yeah, this looks like field goal territory. Why would you name your kid Jihad? Sorry if that's problematic to ask, but like, why would you do that? Even if he's raised a Muslim or something like that, like, would you want to put that on your kid? I named him Holy War. Like, what if you named your kid Crusade? It's the same thing. Oh, there is the personal foul you were talking about. Damn, I think Jake Ferguson's dead. I don't think there was intent there, but I get why they threw the flag. This is what the NFL is now. Hell of a hit. That's a tight end. You know, the replay. I thought he got his shoulder into him. I mean, he dropped it, and he was falling to the ground. It's not the Matrix. There's no intent behind it. Why is Dak headbutting him after that? Ferguson is definitely concussed. Oh, ball don't lie? Oh, man. Yep, that's a clear fumble. Captain Photon, great point. Turnovers will kill you every time. Don't turn the football over. It will not help you out. Ah, that's unfortunate for the Astros. That's an unfortunate bounce. Pena tried fielding a ball that was up the middle. Got his glove on it. Since the second baseman came over too far, the ball rolled into right field, and there was no play at the plate. So it's 5-3. Yankees over the Astros in the top of the 8th with 2 outs, and Caleb Orts on the hill. Sorry, I like to say Caleb Orts' name in a different way. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, this game's done. Trent Grisham, I think, just went yard. Yeah. Oh, boy. He sent that into outer space. Did I get the second deck? It did. That's an upper decker. So it's 8-3, and I do think that will mean that Astros-Yankees this year, in the 6 games the two played against one another, will be a split. Yep, because they won 2 or 3 last month and down 8-3. It looks like they'll lose 2 or 3. Jesus, I mean, that was top. That was high on the upper deck. He fucking destroyed that. Yankees are red hot. Let's take a look at what else is going on in baseball. I guess the Mariners didn't play. It is weird how Thursdays are so empty baseball slate-wise. Tomorrow, the Astros play the Texas Rangers in Texas. They have yet to announce a starting pitcher. Meanwhile, oh, there's lightning. There's going to be a lightning delay. Boo. And the Mariners are about to play the Atlanta Braves for 3. Chris Sale's in Atlanta. Forgot about that. So, oh, wow. They're all going into the tunnel? And now they're announcing it on the field. I'm listening to the actual announcement. I will say this. On Saturday, I was watching college football at my friend's house in the pool in the midst of a lightning storm where the lightning was like less than a second away. I waited until it was a little longer than a second. My friends were out there while it was less than a second away. I can't believe they actually stayed in the pool for it. Then I went out and I joined them for that torrential downpour. It was a fun time. Fun bonding experience in the hot tub as a thunderstorm was coming down. Thunderstorms delaying this game. All right. Well, if that. All right. Well, if that's the case, I am going to go to the bathroom. BRB. So this has been fun. I have zero desire to sit here for the next 30 minutes and watch nothing. I don't really know what else to say. So we're going to wrap this one up. But hope you appreciated at the beginning of this video my Houston Texans season predictions. And I also hope that you enjoyed watching along. Let's try to do this every Monday and every Thursday. Just shooting the shit. Appreciate everyone who stopped by. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this video on YouTube. Or if you're more of a Twitcher, you can do the same there. I don't think you can like it, but you can sub to my Twitch. I'm on Instagram if you want to watch clips, at Sports Gallant. Facebook, if you like that. I stay away from it, but we do stream on that, at Paul Gallant Sports. It'll migrate to TikTok, I think, at some point. And on X and Twitter, at Gallant Says. So appreciate everyone who tuned into this. We will do it some more. I think we will do it on Sunday during the Texans game since this is a road game. But that is to be determined. Until possibly tomorrow morning. Still trying to figure out an ideal time to do the live stream. So long, farewell, and have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Thursday night. Peace!